What's up, everybody? Um, I want to talk to people that have multiple. Get. Why are you on the damn computer, son? Jesus Christ, Lord! I just turned and this nigga's sitting on the damn computer. What are you doing, Joker? Oh my God! What are you doing, son? What are you doing? Come here. Come on. Play with Daddy. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's been in the bed with me all day, and I've just been sitting here all day, in fellowship with the Lord. I'm gonna try to get through this. Um, so if you ever watch any of my, you can watch any of my videos with the cats, and some people might think I'm like high on something, or this is my medication, or it's because I'm bipolar, or because I'm ADHD, or I get overexcited, or I'm obsessed with cats, or any multitude of reasons other than what it really is, which is a gift from God. And me personally, a gift from God is something that heals your spirit and eases your mind and puts joy in your heart. And lets you feel the love instead of loss, which has been so numerous in our lives. And I'm talking to our military. I'm American, so I'm talking about our troops. This applies to everyone worldwide, but like with 9/11, I can only speak to how that made me feel as an American and how it has made my fellow American feel. So it would be ignorant of me to talk about like another situation in another country that I wasn't there, because I'd be speaking ignorance. But regardless of where we are in the world, God gives us a gift in different ways, and for me, it's always been cats. And I may not look calm right now, outwardly, but inwardly, I got the joy of the world because I got my cat in my lap. And I don't know what Harley's doing over there. I just see a tail. Harley, what you doing, little girl? Hey, I don't know. Also talking to our first responders. So I give you an example. I used to be when I say I've done everything in life, I've done everything. So there's nobody I can't relate to. Um, in a lot of cases, 100%. But so I used to be a dispatcher, and I never, thank God, I never lost anybody or nothing crazy happened. Had some scary things here and there, but I never had anything happen to where it would have affected me to where I could be like an alcoholic or like something like that. But people that do lose people uh, on the line as a dispatcher, that affects you. Um, there's no form of tragedy that won't affect you in some form. And if you're that naive to think that, there's many cases of serial killers that think they're Satan's best buddy or whatever they think is insane and evil. And a lot of them are on record for turning themselves in, saying that their victim spirits haunt them and they couldn't do it anymore. And it haunts them in their dreams. So if you think you're on the other end of the spectrum, you're just a regular person, and the opposite happening can't affect you, then you're totally naive to the experience or the reality of it. But tragedy affects us in ways that it may not be evident immediately, but it will come back around to affect you at some point. And most of the time, we're aware that it's affecting us, but we put it off. Um, so if you're a dispatcher and you lose somebody, that's going to affect you. So say my auntie called 911 when I had my Crohn's attack. I have a video on that. Uh, it's in like my last 5 uploads or whatever. My auntie Letha called the 911. Well, actually, she called my mom. Actually, because my mom is a nurse. My mom got there in like 5 minutes. But let's just say that she called 911, the dispatcher, and then I died from the Crohn's. My organs shut down because of the microperforations in my stomach. My Crohn's attack was flaring. Didn't know you had the Crohn's. You don't know you have Crohn's or most chronic things until it flares up. Easy, guys. Easy. 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 Come here, Harley. Come here, pretty girl. They don't want to start acting up, so I'm trying to do something. Uh, so say she called 911, and I die before they get there. With the dispatcher on the phone, said, "Oh, my nephew's dead." You know, that's gonna affect the dispatcher. And they have panic rooms or death rooms, or whatever you want to call it. Uh, that when someone dies, that they go and they break down basically. And a lot of them have therapy and stuff. Say that I live through the dispatch call and the ER or the EMTs get there, the paramedics, and they're trying to save me, and I'm on my way to the hospital, and I die in the ambulance. That's going to affect the EMTs. Let's say that I make it to triage to check in, or let's say I make it to check in and I die in front of the check in person. That's going to affect the check in person. I make it a triage. I die during triage where they take your vitals and stuff and see what's wrong and diagnose you with like blood pressure status and stuff, diabetes, cancer, stuff like that. I die there. It's going to affect the triage people. Let's say that I'm being hooked up to the IVs and given medicine with the ER nurse, and I die there with the ER nurses. That's going to affect them. Let's say the doctor that comes and checks you after the ER nurses is trying to take me to surgery, but I die before surgery. And then let's say I get to surgery and I die on the table. That's going to affect um, the ER nurse or the surgeons. That's just an example. But most of y'all that are ignorant, I'm talking to everybody. But for those of y'all that haven't went through that, I don't wish that on nobody. Whether you're a worker or whether you're a civilian, but um, you don't know what you're talking about. So you should listen to someone like me or somebody else. Um, I don't say their name, but I have somebody extremely close to me that's a veteran, and that's all I'll say on that. But whenever we're talking, he talks about his stuff, and y'all know what I mean, and I listen. I don't say anything. I don't try to be like, oh yeah, I know what that's like, or I feel that, or I've been there, because I haven't. Sometimes you might mean well, and sometimes you might think that this is like similar to that, but it's not. Um, Now I would have started as a Marine at 18, but I have too many health issues and stuff. And these two Marines, a male and a female, pulled on the. They just stopped on the side of the road randomly, and they're like, "Hey son, how'd you like to be a Marine?" Immediately I was like, "I would like that, sir." Yeah, and ma'am. And they gave me my brochure. I was gonna go and sign up like right that day, the next day or that week, and then I was completely out of my mind, insane, unmedicated, bipolar, all these things. Not to mention the fact that my mom was post stage 4 colon cancer and chemo and all these other health problems she had. She also was unmedicated for stuff. Pretty much the worst stuff in life that you see on stories, me and my mom went through. And then you got you got an interdependent relationship to where my mom was the mother up to about 8, 9, 10, and then I became the father. She became the daughter, and then now I'm the parent to my mother. So you have it's extremely impossible to describe. If you've been around that type of situation for all years and years growing up around friends or your own siblings, if you ask anybody from probably the 50s and up in your family if they're alive or their sibling, there's a whole lot of 7, 8, 9, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year old moms and dads that raised all their siblings from like infants. And their dad was an alcoholic, and all he did was work. But he was just worked, and he was just an alcoholic. And whatever dad they had was gone a long time ago, and their mom was a prostitute, or she was like abusive or whatever. And so those are very unsurvivable. If you can survive through it, like me, uh, if y'all notice, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. The only drugs I do take are my prescription medications. I don't have any history of substance abuse, of hurting people, or nothing illegal. Uh, when God, it's hard to explain. Some things are only meant for God to know, but I don't know what. Um, when I hear this infraction or one of the things of the horribleness of growing up out of circumstances out of your control from your family and your parents mainly, to where people don't make it like me and they end up taking their lives and things like that, or they're in and out of jail or in and out of whatever. I don't know. I don't know why God delivers some people through it and others seem like they don't make it through it, even though God's going to give us all the tools we need. It's survival skill. And I don't know these people, I don't know what they look like, but it doesn't matter because we all have the same experience in life. Some of us has experienced more horrible things in higher volumes or more nicer things in higher volumes than others. And in life is hard for everybody, but it's a whole lot harder when you have certain things going on. But God is closest to the brokenhearted. And that bothers me a lot. And I can't rectify it in my mind. And God's always, that's why I made this video, is because God's always telling me, It's like you get a car and you can't get it from destination A to Z, and you got all the letters to go through, and from A to you know from A to Y, you got your car payments right, and if you can get to Z, then you'll be where you need to be in life, and you'll complete your story and retire and have a family and enjoy life and correct all the errors of the things you couldn't do and all that stuff. You'll redeem yourself. And you're like, yeah, every month I got to pay my car payment. I owe these people this loan. I got this loan. I got this car payment. I got to pay it so I can keep getting from A to B to C to D, etc., until I get to Z, to the finish line. Z's the finish line. And then let's just say that you owe $10,000 on it, and you're halfway there. You're at like H or something. And let's just say that you prayed one day to Jesus, and let's just say that my name's Bob. That's not. I'm just a random dude named Bob. That's not my real name. Let's just say I'm Bob, and I'm a Christian, and I came across you somehow, and I'm a regular human. I'm not an angel. I'm a regular human, and let's just say I pay off your loan, and one day, but I don't tell you. Um, but you can clearly see that it went from 10,000 to zero, and it was paid yesterday. And you go to pay it, and you check the automated thing. It says you don't owe anything, and you're like, this got to be a mistake. No, people are lucky, but I'm never lucky. Not me. So you call the number on the 800 number, and they say you don't owe anything, and you still don't believe it. So you go the to the dealership, and they say no, you don't owe anything, and you still don't believe them. So you talk to everybody, then you call the owner of the company. So finally, you go to the bank, and then they tell you no, you don't owe anything. It's paid, and then they give you your title. So I have the title of my car, even though it's broke down. Uh, when you pay your car off, you get a title to they sign it out of the owner's name into your name, and you own the car. So you can do whatever you want with it. You own it; it's yours forever, and your debt's paid, right? And the reason I mentioned all the bad stuff and all that and everything, and survivor's guilt, and always being in survival mode and having to make life and death decisions. There's I don't get back pain. I had extreme back pain, like my entire back felt like I got my back broke by Bane, like Batman did. And it's not back pain; it's scoliosis and degenerative disc disease, and my coccyx is bent backward or bent badly, right? And the left side of my body won't adjust at all, which obviously my back doctor said it's not good. My right side will adjust, but my left side won't at all. Um, so when I say that there are examples when people aren't bullshitting you when they say I have it, it's either all or nothing. It's either all good or all bad. That's been my whole life. Um, and so there are times where people are telling you the truth. You're just not believing them. And when you're not believing them, and it's already hard enough, you're making it harder for them to believe in God, because you're making it seem like nothing they do is right. Every time they try to get somebody to listen, it's like they're listening, but they're not hearing them. You can listen you can listen to me talking. You can close your eyes and listen, but are you hearing what I'm telling you? Did you not just hear I took you from the process of the dispatcher up to the doctor, the trauma doctor, to the person dying on the table? How it's not just the dispatcher that's affected or the EMT, it's everybody. You see what I mean? But you're not hearing me. You got all these videos on here. We're trying to tell you about what God's done for us, and all you do is listen because you don't care. If you really cared, you would hear what people are saying when they're talking. You can listen all day, but you're not hearing me. I need you to hear what I'm saying. Like I can say, hey Becky, the house is on fire. You're listening. You can hear, but you're not hearing the words. You're not hearing that the house is on fire. You're listening for half a second and then you tune me out, but you're not hearing that the house is on fire. We got a whole bunch of houses on fire, y'all. Being hyperbolic, as in like your house is in grave danger of falling apart, of losing everything, and you can't take. You do realize that if you take 1 minute to watch 100, if you take 1 minute in an hour to watch 60 TikTok videos, you could take 60 minutes to watch one of my videos and find the Lord. Because the reason it's the Lord is because I should be dead. Every single story I tell y'all, I should be dead. Period. There's nothing to talk about. Like I was out in the jellyfish season with thousands of jellyfish rising up when my Uncle Muhammad Ali would give um, my family money to go on vacation and this and that. So from about like 1 or 2 up to like 9, 10, 11 or so, we went to Florida every year. My uncle, uh, Uncle Rock, which is we call him Rock, not Rockman, Rahman. Um, to you, it'd be like ramen noodles, like Ramen Ali, but it's Rockman Ali. We don't call him Rockman, we call him Rock. And if you know Uncle Rock, you know he'd always wear his white sailor cap around. But Uncle Rock, Uncle Rock, my dad, and my grandma would go up and see him. And he would give him money and hang out and all that stuff. Because that's who Uncle Muhammad was. You know, he never forgot about Louisville, Kentucky. In one of his championship fights, he said that, you know, Louisville, Kentucky's the best. And most people, they'll send money or whatever, but they don't actually show their face where they're go see their people, where they came from, the people that made them what they were. Um, and that means the world to me. But anyway, my dad would get carried away, and I was on the back of him on the jet ski, and I was tethered, and I flew off. He went past that red marker, and if you are a beach person or whatever, or a lifeguard, or whatever you call you Baywatch people, you know what I'm talking about. But that's where like sharks and stuff that can eat you is. Um, and but when I was 6 months old, my dad threw me in the pool, and I swam on my own. And I keep saying threw me, but whatever. He put me in. I was in the water. He put me in the water, and he threw me in the water, and I swam. Babies can swim off of instinct most of the time. Joker, stop, son. Get down. I'm not yelling at him, but I gotta be firm because he keeps doing it. Because he's gonna make me forget what I'm trying to say. That's why I have to be firm with him. Get down. See, I got that up there to keep him from going over there, and now he wants to go up there, and he's not doing nothing but just being ridiculous. Just to finish the story, it was jellyfish season. You know, if you know about jellyfish season, if you're not really in the water, if you don't really see in the water, like out there physically on a boat and see how many creatures are in the water during mating season, then you don't understand. Like I should be dead because one jellyfish stinging you, the jellyfish stings you to paralyze you. So like the knockout stuff they put at the chloroform, that's effectively what it does to your body, and your muscles spasm and lock up, and then you just well, I don't know if you asphyxiate, but you lock up like that, and you can't like paddle, you can't do anything, and you go under and you drown within seconds. Well, I was in there for about 2 to 5 minutes, and I have perfect lucid memory, so I can remember things that people that raised me since I was very little can't remember, and they asked me how I remember it, and I said that's just the memory God gave me. So, and if anybody thinks I'm lying about any of this, I can call anything you think I'm lying on. I can call anybody on my stream. I can call any family member, and they'll tell you I'm not bullshitting you, because I'm not lying on the Lord. I'm not. I don't play with the Lord's name. It's not. I'm not gonna be before the Lord. I don't always not say the best language. I don't always this and that. But that's who I am, and I'm not a hypocrite, and the Lord knows I'm not a hypocrite. But the one thing I will never do is lie on God. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be standing for the Lord talking about, yeah, God did this for me and God did that for me and he didn't. That's not what a testimony is. That's called being a deceiver, a false prophet, or I don't know what you would call it, but you're lying. You're a deceiver. You're not really for God if you're lying. Because Jesus is the truth. And if you love the Lord, you're going to tell the truth regardless of what it is. If you kill somebody today, or whenever the hell, you need to admit that. If you slapped your wife or husband, or if you threw your cat or your dog, or if you threw coffee on somebody, whatever the hell it is, go on and let it be known and take what you get because that's what you deserve. There's consequences for your actions. And to sit here and be that naive to think that, to delude yourself to think that you're not going to be judged. If you go and shoot somebody and blow their head off right now, eventually you're going to get caught by the police and put in court and put on trial, and you'll be tried by a jury of your peers. You'll be adjudicated guilty or not guilty by a jury of your peers, and then once the whole world sees what you've done, once your peers see what you've done, the people, same people you think don't see you or won't know, people that have witnessed what you've done or witnessed what you said you've done, and then the evidence backs it up. Who do you come before? The judge. And then what does the judge do? They convict you. What does God do when we do something wrong? He convicts us. Don't y'all understand that, man? Woman, kid, child, whoever the hell's watching this. And yes, just because it's like, oh, well, people are weird when you're talking about minors. Yeah, that's true. But I'm not being weird. I'm being. Kids do bad stuff too, y'all. They kill people too, y'all. You think because just someone's a kid and they kill somebody, they shouldn't be held accountable the same way an adult is? One of the Ten Commandments: Thou shalt not kill. The hell if the what the human law says. I don't go by no human law. I go by the Bible's laws, which is the Ten Commandments, and very clearly are set in stone. That was gave to Moses. I think from Mount Sinai. I think if I'm wrong, correct me. He was like darker skinned, and then he came like looked like pale for a minute or something. I don't know. That's when he had the Ten Commandments. Even if you don't believe in God, um, going to Grand Theft Auto and killing a bunch of people, that's not real. It's not a good example, but it's fake. It's not real people. But if you go find anybody that goes does that in real life, is that a good thing to go and do? From the evidence that we see, if you don't believe in God at all, even if you don't believe in God, we know that going around murking a bunch of people is not good, right? So you apply that, and then you apply that on your mother and father. Well, how good would you feel if your mom and dad have cancer and you could help them with their cancer treatment, but you'd rather spend money on your new husband or wife, and then they die, and then the guilt you have? Is it better to go spend stupid money on your goofy husband or wife or girlfriend that ain't gonna be with you anyway, because they also didn't care enough to go see your sick parents? So that shows their character and their greed. So does that feeling that you get when they're gone, wishing you could have done something, does that feel good? No. So you just compare your non-belief to the actual evidence of your emotions and feelings and the outcomes that happens for everybody that goes against the Ten Commandments, and then you tell me how much of it is true based on what Jesus says as the Son of God and based on what you believe outside of not believing in God. And I don't care what you believe. I'm just telling you what happened. If I tell you I got struck by lightning 10 times and it's on TikTok and I'm viral and I'm alive and you see I'm alive, and I tell you I was pronounced dead each time and they shot me back to life 10 times out of 10, God saved my life and God said, hey, come back here and tell these people that I spared you that. Because the last uh, 10 people that got electric or shot 10 times and the 10th time they all dead, but you. Hey, look, at a certain point, man, woman, child, you got to understand. You can either see that the proof of God is in the things seen and unseen, or you can believe whatever you want to believe, and you end up wherever you think you're gonna go. But at a certain point, you got to stop thinking that you're some type of god. People say, "Oh, we are gods." Okay, well, go to your mom or dad's grave, or your baby's grave, or whoever, your dog, cat, whatever. Go and rub your hands or do whatever your god stuff is, and bring them back to life. Go on and reincarnate them or whatever. Go on and do all of that. Go start flying in the sky like Goku and Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? Go on and start teleporting from here back to the Egyptian days. Go on and do all of that because clearly that's what you believe. You're human with a God complex, but you're not God or a God. The same as me. If if I jump into a wood chipper, I'm gonna be in pieces. And I'm gonna be dead, just like you. But some of y'all, for some reason, you're so deluded by the world and so deceived by Satan that you really believe you can walk into a wood chipper and live or die and come back reincarnated or whatever the heck. And we all know dead people don't come back. Or there's people that will literally walk into a volcano. Like, I'll give you $1 trillion if you walk into a volcano. There's somebody that's going to watch this video that will do it and believe that they'll be able to get that money and walk out of the volcano. And we've seen Terminator 2. We've seen uh, The Return of the King. And Gollum or Smeagol. Gollum in Lord of the Rings, where Frodo and Mount Doom and Sam. And he fell in the thing trying to get the ring. Chasing a rich, a material item at the risk of wa- going into nothing in lava. And I don't care if you like how I talk, because how is it that you're an adult but you're so sensitive to what I'm saying when no matter if I say okay, my mom's dead, and let me go get her ashes and do some Harry Potter spell and bring her back to life, or hocus pocus like Binks. If I say that versus my mom's passed away and I go get a Harry Potter hocus pocus thing and resurrect her, or if I say that she's no longer with us, or if I say she's deceased, or she's dearly departed, they're all the same thing, y'all. It's just a different word. They're synonyms. Every single thing that we say is a synonym. It's just that somebody isn't saying it the way that you like it because that's something that you don't want to deal with because you don't want to face reality because you rather live in a lie. And who's the father of lies? Satan. So you rather side with Satan. That's what you're doing. If because Jesus says to not be around people that lie and do witchcraft and seances and convene with the dead. A witch shall not be suffered to live. Warlocks, all that stuff. One of my neighbors is a Wiccan. That's the first thing she told me when I met her. Totally fine. I love her like I love a Christian sister. But am I like going out of my way to hang out with her and stuff? No, definitely not. But do I pray for her just as hard as any of my Christian sisters? Absolutely. And she'll see like my Jesus is calling shirt. She'll be like, I'll be like, God bless you. All those types of things. So there's a way that Jesus will tell somebody like, hey, do you want to know about my father? You can accept or reject it. And he kept it moving, literally. No means, God understands that no means no. Jesus understands that, but he also knows that through mercy and grace, you might come around to see the truth. Something can't be true and untrue at the same time. Either Harley Quinn is an orange female or she's an orange male. She can't be an orange male and an orange female at the same time. She can't be a cat and a dog at the same time. She can't be a cat and a bird at the same time. I didn't really pet her too much. She's been sleeping. When I say I've been convenient and fellowship with the Lord, I've been sitting on this couch. I was watching Q Half. I was watching some of his videos, and I just been sitting here thinking about what I was going to put in this video. It's just the Lord helping me get through it. These aren't easy to do all the time. It takes a lot out of me, and when that happens, I tend to forget what I'm trying to say. So that's why I'm always trying to eliminate distractions so I can remember what I was trying to say because it's important. Um, but it's like a kid. You can tell a kid that, hey, you're eating too much candy, you're going to ruin your teeth, and they can understand that, and they're not nearly as sensitive or offended, and they're a child. But you're a 40-year-old man or woman, and someone tells you you're eating too much candy and you're going to end up at the dentist with a root canal, and you get up in arms because I'm an adult. Don't y'all see the irony in it? You're an adult, but you don't have the maturity of a kid that you're 10 times, 50 times older than or whatever. But yet you want to say because you're an adult that you do have the maturity of an adult, but you don't. I want y'all to go and watch any of my. Well, actually, never mind. You can't hear them, but you'll see. That's a different subject. But I don't want to make the video too long. But the truth is universal. Um, like this is either there's only one Spurs organization in the NBA in the world, San Antonio Spurs. This can't be a Spurs and a Laker Cup at the same time. Why? Because there's no such thing as a Spurs Laker organization. It's the Spurs or the Lakers. So it's either true that this is a Spurs organization cup or it's not. And that's the truth. And if you think that it's the Spurs and the Lakers cup or a Maryland, and it's a Maryland Spurs cup. If you believe it's a Spurs and a Maryland cup, when they're clearly separate cups with different uh, organizations, different settings, different, whatever, then you believe in a lie. And the farther lies get you in hell. That's a fact. And every time I be going on here, man, I put this in because thank God I'm glad I got a learning disability because it may not seem like it, but with certain things I do, but it also allows me to keep something in the most simplest form. And I could care less if a million people don't like what I say. I just care about one person seeing the truth. And once you see the truth, you see Jesus because Jesus is what does he say? He's the way, which is the way to live. He's the truth, which is what tells you is what correct and is not. And he's the way to live your life. The way, the truth, and the life. Look here, man. Look, man, woman, and child. Can you please explain why do you get so mad at Jesus? Why you get so mad at God? Why you get so mad at the Bible? Why you get so mad as Christians? If you don't believe in nothing we're saying, why are you watching the video? Why are you commenting? Literally, why do you literally care if you don't believe in God? Because if you don't believe in God and Jesus and the Bible and what it says, then you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care to reply, right? That's like trying to like you keep sending notes in class to a girl in school or a boy in school that you hate, that you don't like. You don't want nothing to do with them. So why do you keep sending them notes trying to communicate with them? You answer that for yourself. Now see, look, Harley, Joker. Um, but yeah, that's uh, that's my little preachy teachy stuff for today. Um, I'll be live on Twitch and YouTube in a minute. I just needed a minute to. I spent the whole day just kind of getting a download from the Lord, so to speak. Uh, but I was gonna say one more thing. Just give me a second. Hold on. I get a lot of bad taste in my mouth and mucus buildup and all that from my medication and stuff. Uh, Now I had acid reflux, which doesn't complement my Crohn's at all. Um, Help me out here, Lord. What was I trying to say? It's the beginning of the video. Oh yeah, there it is. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Uh, what y'all don't and it took me until 35, 34 to realize. God told me one day. Actually, Q Hef had said it. Shout out to Q Hef. He's the one that the Lord told him, and then he told us, and then I'm telling you. And I always knew it. I just couldn't articulate it. It's called a revelation. A revelation is just having a realization about something, or I guess God revealing something to us that we knew subconsciously or whatever, but it took us time for whatever reason before He revealed it. But Q Hef had said it. I had said it. Um, and the reason when I say I don't care, this is what I mean. If you think that I care what you think about what I'm saying that God has already told me, and not only has He's told me it, and He's proven it to me. God makes the claim, and then He allowed me to live the experience. He showed me over and over, and I went from belief and unbelief, and then He kept proving it to me over and over. And then once He proved it, and I had the realization, the revelation, that everything He says is true by testing it the same way that God wants us to test the fruit that people bear, good or bad fruit, the wheat from the tares. God also wants us to have the relationship with Him, to challenge Him, to be like, you know what, God, you keep saying all this stuff and I don't believe nothing because you ain't real. And then God says, okay, that's all I wanted you to do. So now I'm going to help you I'm going to help you get to know my son. And that's the whole reason what this is about, is I sent him here. And then He proves it. And that's how you become saved. In the same way that Jesus made the claim that He's the Son of God and everything, like I said, something's true or it's not true. So either God is a liar or He's telling the truth. God is a truth teller. Jesus is a truth speaker. There's no lies in God. There's nothing. There's no deceit. There's no nothing. God is telling the truth. Jesus is telling the truth. Well, He was telling the truth back when He was alive, and He is telling the truth. You know what I mean? Through us modern people, Christians. But if you think that, first of all, I don't care what any of y'all think, and I don't care who you are. I care what God thinks about my relationship with Him, because no matter what opinion you have, good or bad, um, uh, when I die, I'm not gonna take none of your opinions, because opinion can be good or bad, but just because it's a good one doesn't mean it's righteous in the Lord, right? So um, I only care about what God sees in my relationship with Him when I die, when I go into the kingdom, because my name is already written in the book of life. You know, because it's not like I'm just coming out here talking about, yeah, I was saved yesterday. No, I've been saved since I was a little boy, and I've sinned and I've done just as much as bad stuff as you, or maybe worse, whatever. But the point is I'm saved. It's like you back in the day, you get like a memory card for your PlayStation or Game Boy or whatever, and you save your progress, and you've already leveled up and you done all your stuff. You beat all the bosses, you beat all the bad guys. You're the last one left, and you saved your game. And that's pretty much what it is when your name's written in the book of life. Your name's saved down in the book of life, so there's nothing. It's already been saved. It's done. You know what I'm saying? You beat the game of I guess life, you would say. But um, because when we leave, the only thing we have is our relationship and what God sees in us, not what the world sees in us. And God says to live in the world, but don't be of the world. And if you're of the world, you're always going to be thinking good or bad what someone's opinion about you is, and letting that affect your relationship with God. And that ain't how that works. God don't care about what other people think about you. God cares that you care what he thinks about you. Nobody else. Because your relationship with your son is not the same thing. It's not the same information and same feelings and thoughts and all that you have with your daughter. Same thing with Harley and Joker. My relationship with Harley Quinn has nothing to do with my relationship with Joker, even though we're all family. They're two different relationships. So God wants a different relationship with each one of us individually. He literally says that he wants to have a relationship with us. If you're Christian and you come to me and say you're Christian, I say the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, when did you get saved? What was your life like before? What's it like now? What are you struggling with now? What have you been delivered from? What's your calling? What's your relationship with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit? Did you accept Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior? All those things. Um, Not just, I go to church and I pray and I got baptized and I'm Christian now and my life's better. That's not good enough. That's not specific enough, because Jesus went into specifics on everything. Jesus didn't die just for you to go to church and read your Bible and get baptized and say you're Christian, but you don't present no fruit. Like, let people hear about your bad fruit and let people hear about your good fruit, and be honest with people about stuff you're struggling with and you're not struggling with. That's a real relationship. And people wonder why they can't stay married, because they don't have no real relationship with the person. Oh, I love cats too. I love World of Warcraft too. I love Dragon Ball too. Let's get married. What? Are y'all nuts? I was in the video by saying that I don't care about being right about everything I say. I don't care about being right. I care about the truth. And we know who the truth is. His name is Jesus, and Christ is his title. And Jesus Christ is the truth. Like this video, share the video, leave a comment. I love y'all. Bye.